I'm Jason Ross from KHTK and the Sacramento Kings, and you're listening to the Kings Court Podcast. Down by the river.
This is Joe Morgan with the Kings Court Podcast here with Vince Miracle. Hey, Vince, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. How you doing today?
Oh, another beautiful day, just fighting off the heat a little bit, but, typical fun stuff.
Oh, yeah, me too. Today's the daughter's second birthday. Happy birthday, Noel. Have to throw that out there on the show.
Happy birthday,
Noel. Remind
Noe.
everyone here. Happy birthday, Noel. Remind everyone that the Kings Court is presented by SacKingsNation.com. Go to SacKingsNation.com for all your daily Kings news. And, of course, this show is sponsored by BrickHouseIndustries.com. Go to BrickHouseIndustries.com. Use the promo code KingsCourt and get a discount on us. We got a loaded show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the NBA schedule. Sacramento Kings schedule has just come out. We have some that we have circled as our major key games, the games that we are going to be most looking forward to. We're going to be talking about Team USA a little bit more because we'll have a last episode. We didn't get to hit on it too much. We're going to hit on it today for sure, 100%. We also have some stuff we're going to be giving it away. And so definitely you guys are going to want to listen from beginning to end because we also will be taking your phone calls. If you have a question that you want to get on the show, be sure to call in at 916-273-9777. So, Joe, let's start this off right now. I'm going to throw a curveball at you because it's not even a topic I even said because I was reading it today and I was editing it out today, and no one has seen it yet. But I have looked at your bench rankings, my friend. I'm telling you right now, they're garbage.
See, you don't have to agree for me to be right. That's one of the funny things about writing is, I even wrote it in there. My editor's giving me grief. Here he is giving me grief live on the air. Again, we have so many questions with the Kings. I know everybody's going to be pissed. I put him in the 8 spot. I rank him any higher. Something goes wrong, I'm going to feel too stupid. I'd much rather move them up over the course of the year. I'd much rather say I was hopeful and they did well and we got to move them up. Like I said in the article, I think they can be as high as the 3 as a operating bench if the year goes right. But, man, if it goes wrong, Rondo goes down with an injury, some things can happen, and this whole thing can just fall apart. I need it to stick together. I want it to stick together. Hey, man, again, I've bet you I don't want to go in the river. I want them to do great. Don't hate me for the way I wrote it. Don't hate me for the fact I put them in the 8. I know you think that Phoenix is worse. I know you think that there's a couple other teams that are worse. But those teams don't have the questions that we do. So go ahead.
Are you kidding me? They don't have a question? They don't have a question. Okay. First off, everyone, so you guys do know what we are talking about here, just in case you do not know. Joe has been doing rankings of the Western Conference, seeing where the Kings will rank up come that time when the seeding starts, because he does see them as a 7th seed. And if you guys hear a lot of noise in the background, it's because the party is still going on. I took the time to do the Kings Court Podcast because I love the show. I love you guys. But anyways, he's been doing rankings for the past few weeks now, ranking the Western Conference, whether that be from the starting five, point guards through center. He just recently did coaches, and now he's doing the benches. And as of right now, you guys haven't seen it yet, but he has the Sacramento Kings as the 8th best team on the bench. It's ridiculous. The teams he has ahead of him, Oklahoma City, the Phoenix Suns. I mean, these are teams that, yeah, they have players. But name a player that we don't have on our bench that we could not match up against. And we were talking about this prior to the show. I think it was like 2 days ago, Joe, we were talking about this.
Bro, you almost lost your cool. You sounded like you were going to have an aneurysm on the phone with me. It was hilarious.
I'm losing my cool right now. I'm losing my cool right now. Are you kidding me?
I guarantee his face is red, people. He isn't with me today. He's not actually in studio. We're doing it on the phone because of his daughter's birthday. So I don't actually get to see him, but I wish he was here because I guarantee you his face is as purple as any Kings jersey in the history of the world. It is so much fun to get him riled up. I'm telling you, you guys ought to call in, get him going, because he is a little too serious sometimes.
You guys definitely, you fans, definitely call in here, 916-273-9777. tell Joe and explain to him why just the bench alone, there's a starting 5 on this Sacramento Kings bench, and yet he still has them as the 8th team. That means they're only ahead of 7 teams, and there's still another, 7 teams ahead of them? There's 15, so I'm doing the math wrong. Either way, I'm just so mad that I can't use the math correct. That's how heated I am about the fact that you still have them at number 8, and we discussed it, and you're like, I think I should do it, but then no, you still submitted it as them as the 8th spot. And I was like, wow, it's straight, as a Stephen A. word would use, blasphemy.
You know what? You use that blasphemy word a lot, and here's what happened. I started to move them because of our conversation, and then I thought, no, a writer does not change what he's saying just because somebody disagrees with him. So I'm going to leave them where I left them, and if people don't like it, well, I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that they do better. I pray that all year long they just abuse what the rankings I put them at. I hope every King does. I hope DeMarcus is the one. I hope Rudy moves up. I hope every one of these guys does better than I thought. But at the same time, I'm ranking what I actually believe, and I'm not going to change it just because it's the popular view or because you don't agree with me.
I'm sorry, but you also have the Spurs up there as one of the best benches in the Western Conference. Can you please name me 3 players that can outplay Darren Collison, Marco Bellinelli, Costa Koufis, and Willie Cauley-Stein? 4 players, not 3. 4 players that on the Spurs bench that outbeat the Kings bench.
How long did we have this conversation the other day? And how long did I have to prove my point? I'm telling you, you're gonna pop like a blood vessel in your head. Okay, let's go with it. I think Ray Mack's gonna have a heck of a year. I think obviously Ginobili. I mean that goes without saying. Kyle Anderson is going to mature a lot. Jimmer Fredette's gonna blossom under Pop's leadership. Boris, I can never say his name right. Dow, whatever his name is, it doesn't matter. I think he's going to be a heck of a force off the bench. I mean, he's played in 900 games. What is he averaging? Almost 10 points, like 9. I'm going to go with 9-1. I don't remember. I don't have the article in front of me, but 9-2, 9-1, somewhere in there, averaging a game. And that's off the bench. So I didn't get his, I don't know his per minute averages, but, he needs to come in and stop somebody he can. Man, I'm drawing a blank on the whole thing. Again, I don't have the article in front of me right now. David West coming over from Indy. He came over from Indiana. He's been playing backup there really well. Man, who else do they have on that squad? Patty Mills.
Yeah. They also have Jimmer Fredette and Ray McCallum. All right, it really doesn't matter. You can take both Ray McCallum and Jimmer Fredette, combine them together, and still would not have a better player than Darren Collison. Boom! I said it. Don't care. You know what? Both them two together is probably just as good, maybe, as Seth Curry, which I still didn't even throw out another name out there. Boom. You throw out Jimmer, I throw out Seth Curry, D-League MVP. All right? This team is stacked.
One of those kids played in the D-League.
It was disrespectful.
One of those kids played in the D-League last year, and one of those kids played in the NBA. And I know he didn't do great in the NBA, but he played in the NBA.
Okay, after he left the Kings, how many minutes did he get in Chicago? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah. You're trying to throw me under the bus for, what are we now, 4 minutes into the broadcast, and I'm already bleeding? I see how it is around here. There's just no love when he's not in studio, boys and girls. He likes to throw punches. He likes to have shots fired from a distance. Apparently, he likes he likes long rifles.
I can't do shots fired from there. You might hurt me. You're bigger than me. I'm a swear, and I can't do it in person. I'm a wood. I'll say it.
And hey, now that I got the hard hat, I can wear that whenever we go at it. So I got something to stop the violence. I don't know if you guys saw it, but go on my Twitter, Sac Kings J Morgan. I got a picture with the hard hat. We got to tour, me and Vince and one of our writers, Josh, got to take a tour of the new arena complex. It's actually my second tour, and since the first one, they've already updated a bunch of stuff. They keep coming more and more with technology. They keep coming more and more with the amazing stuff that they're going to be doing at that new downtown arena site. It is absolutely amazing. What else is amazing is the roof is going up. I threw up some information about it today, but the pictures are coming out where the roof is going on, and man, we've all made jokes about it, of course, raise the roof and all this other nonsense. I was, the roof is on Golden One. All sorts of stupid crap today just because we're all so excited that, it's coming together. We're going to have a stadium in downtown Sac that we can be proud of. We're going to have an area that we can be proud of. I'm absolutely thrilled. Like, I loved the tour. Vince threw out a photo of himself wearing the hat. We got to get in front of the actual the build site where it's going up. We got to walk around and look at some stuff. We got to go in one of what the sky boxes are going to look like. I don't know, whatever you call them. The private boxes. They got, man.
While we're on the topic of a golden one as well, let them know about what you're most excited about this arena, because there's this one specific thing that is making you extremely excited about this golden one center that has not really been brought to a lot of people's attention, and even if it's brought to their attention, it doesn't get brought up enough. So let them know what it is.
Are you talking about the way that it's built into the ground? Because I'll tell you. Okay, let me just try and explain what my favorite thing is, and then we'll see if that's what you're talking about. If not, I'll get excited about two things. I'm pretty easily excited about this place. My most exciting thing that I love the most. Okay, we're already the number one fan base in the NBA. I don't care what anybody says. We are the loudest. We are the baddest. We will make your ears bleed. And this year, building it the way they're building it is into the ground. So when you walk in, you're actually walking in on what will be the middle floor. The court itself is actually dug underground, and we're going to be yelling into a hole. Do you think we can't get louder as a fan base? Do you think we can't blow their ears out when some stupid team comes into town thinking they're bad, and we can blow their ears out every time they get on the court? We get to yell down at them. We get to yell into a hole where it's just going to echo with the love that we give our team and the hate and the venom that I get to throw personally every single game as some random dude on the other team. I can't wait to tell LeBron what I think. And the best part is, he's going to be below me. I'm yelling down at him, and he can't get away from it. He's going to hear every word out of my mouth. And for those of you who don't know me in person, I'm a little loud on the radio. In real life, oh my Lord, like I'm not a quiet human being. So Vince, is that the piece you were talking about? Because I am just, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to scream at these kids.
No, that is definitely a piece I was talking about. That one thing, well, we were literally looking at the picture, and if anyone gets the opportunity to go on this tour, or they heard about it, got offered it, and they denied it, if you get offered it again, definitely go on this tour, because when Joe really got, like, he was explaining it to me a little bit, because like he said, he's been on it before I actually got to go on it. Josh and myself actually got to go this time as well. It was crazy because he literally stood in front of this picture and like was pointing as if his finger was going down, like as in a slide. Like, my voice is gonna echo down into the court. I can yell, "You guys suck" to the opposing team, and they're gonna hear it. Like, and he's screaming it so loud that everyone's just looking at us like we're crazy. But no, that's just Joe. That's how he is.
There was a group of everybody else there was like normal people, and then you got us fanatics up there. I mean, these guys are normal cats. They're trying to buy their business some group seats. They're trying to buy themselves some group seats. I'm up there just as a total fanatic who wants to scream at people. And I don't think they understand that us crazy folks, man, you just built me a platform so I can talk to everybody in the NBA. These guys are, from where I sit, they're going to hear me, and it's going to be ugly. I can't wait. I can't wait for Steph Curry to hear my voice. I can't wait for I mean, man, I could go down the list, but there's guys who I can't wait to tell Anthony Davis he needs to shave that ridiculous crap off of his face. Oh, I'm gonna make that kid.
He's talking about his unibrow. If you guys don't know.
Oh my Lord! I might even buy him a razor and bring it with me and offer it to him from my seat. He looks like an eagle, dude. I mean, I know the dude can fly, but that's ridiculous. Like, you look ridiculous. I know it's your trademark. Your trademark needs to change. I don't know. Make up a line of shoes or something. It worked for other people.
Michael Jordan, to be for an example.
I'm just saying, like I would what a horrible thing to be known for. Hey, bro, I look like a eagle. All right, well, good on you. I guess that's, that's a trademark. It ain't the one I would pick, but, what do I know?
Yeah, so let's start going on to the actual topic. Topic number one, we're actually going to be talking about, the schedule that now that it has come out. What is that one game that you're most excited about? Because we went through this, and there's some exciting news we're going to actually bring up probably towards the end of this. Nothing's 110% confirmed on it, but we are going to bring it up. There are things that are happening here on the Kings Court. But, Joe, we are circling some games. What's one of those games that we circled that you think the fans should be most excited for?
Well, I mean, the obvious two are the home opener and the home closer. I mean, there's no way that those aren't just going to be amazing. I mean, the home closer, We're gonna play OKC. It's April 9th, Saturday, April 9th, 7 o'clock or 7:30 rather. Playing Oklahoma City. I wouldn't miss that game if my legs were broken. I was shot in the chest. I'm going. I'm gonna yell. Like, I don't care if I got to yell through a respirator. I'll be at that game. You know, like that's one that you go to. I don't care if you're a Kings fan, if you even have, any kind of loyalty to this city, you go say goodbye. And I'm going to call it Sleep Train on the air, but I'm thinking Arco. Like, I want it to, Sleep Train, Power Balance, Arco, whatever we're going to call it. But, you got to say goodbye to the old girl. There's been a lot of memories made there. Everybody's had a lot of fun. The opening night, of course, they're going to be crazy. There's going to be some crazy stuff going on. We got the best roster we've ever had, and we're going to be playing the Clippers, one of the best teams, possibly, easily in the top 3 in the West.
If you guys saw it on a Royal Pain, I had them as my number 1 team going into the playoffs as my early Western Conference projections for playoffs for RoyalPain.com. If you guys haven't seen that yet, go ahead and go check that out. But yeah, I agree with you. The Clippers are going to be definitely a force to be reckoned with this season.
Well, and then we got the early game, November 7th against Golden State. I don't know if the Curry brothers are going to match up there. Just even coming off the bench. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that Seth is going to start, but I'm saying at some point in the game to be able to look over and to see brother on brother, 2 kids who have played that 10,000 times when they were little boys, sitting out front of their parents'
house. No, they said they never play one-on-one. They've said that.
Really, as kids, man, when you're 7, you're telling me they were never at the park and they never tried to.
No, I think maybe what they said was they never played actual team, like they never played.
Well, and I believe that, but
5-on-5.
I believe that, but I'm just saying when you're 7 years old and you're at the house, there's no way that they didn't shoot a ball at each other. I mean, if you're a basketball player and pretending like you're both in the NBA, well, for that dream to come true, to actually, my hairs on the back of my neck are standing up right now. I get so excited about that thought, like. Can you imagine you and your little brother, you and your cousin, you and your friend, whoever it is, man, you're playing basketball as a little kid and you make that dream. Hey, bro, one day we're going to be in the bigs together. One day we're going to be in the NBA together. And on November 7th, we have a chance to see that dream real. Man, that's like, again, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't think that, and Catter J's in the chat room and he says, Seth and Steph might not be playing at the same time. No, I know, but I can hope that even for 1 minute of one of the 2 games, we got them on January 9th again also. For 1 minute of one of those games, believe you me, I'm going to have my camera ready as soon as Seth comes in. And if I can get that picture, I'm going to be absolutely blown away. And Catter J's also saying the bigger deal on Golden State is JT's coming back. And, man, I don't know if I agree with that because, again, for me, the sob story type stuff is always really cool. I love seeing people's dreams come true. JT's been in the league a while. He's he's already established. But I absolutely can't wait to see Seth and Steph standing next to each other. Even if all I get's one snapshot of them, slapping 5 on the way off the court. But the concept that 2 brothers are playing in the NBA together, again, man, that just it's almost too much sometimes. Like it's I love it. Vince, did I lose you there?
Yeah, I mean,
oh no. Okay.
No, I'm still here. No, I'm just saying that with Seth and Steph, I mean, I'm telling you right now, and Catter J says it in the chat board as well, they ain't going to play against each other when Seth Curry is getting garbage time minutes. And let's be honest, those are the minutes he's going to be getting. I don't care if it's significant garbage time minutes because maybe, I don't know, they told Seth, we're going to blow teams out. And you're going to get the minutes when we blow those teams out. Because I don't see him getting a lot of minutes. I don't see them taking a minutes away from Darren Collison because he established himself as a starting point guard last year. So I don't see them taking away minutes from him. Rajon Rondo, like you said it before, this is a $9.5 million deal. Do you think they're going to take minutes away from him? Not, especially not in the beginning of the season. Not when they're trying to see if he can try and stay here, if he can build up to being that Boston Rondo. So there's not a lot of minutes for him to play. Maybe it's the 2 spot, but then are you taking minutes away from an improving Ben McLemore? Are you taking minutes away from Marco Bellinelli? The only way you're going to get a picture of Seth Curry and Steph Curry next to each other is when they first walk out into the court, when they see each other in Sacramento, and they're like, hey, how's it going? And there's high five when they're doing their little stretches during warm-ups. I mean, that's probably the only time you will see those 2 on the court. Now, I want to go back to what he said about Jason Thompson coming back. I'm actually excited about that. He's the longest tenured King.
No, I love the kid. I didn't mean anything against him. I love JT. I think he's awesome, and I'm glad to see him come back. That'll be a lot of fun. I hope we all, as fans, can be mature enough, give him a standing ovation, because he certainly deserves it from what he did here.
No, he definitely does. And it's funny too, and I hate that I have to throw it out there, but it's funny how when he was here, there were so many haters on him here. Like, there were tremendous amount of haters on him talking about, like, oh, he's garbage. Why is he playing? He's not good. But then he leaves and goes to Golden State. Man, that's a solid pickup for the Golden State Warriors. Jason Thompson's not that bad. He solidifies up their bench or wherever they fill in. He can fill in as that David Lee role. And I'm like, why didn't you talk about him that way when he was here? And I've been adamant on this show, before you became the co-host, before anything, that Jason Thompson was arguably the best defender on this Kings team. I was saying I am a Jason Thompson fan for a long time. So to see him going all the way over to Golden State, I think it's going to be a good game to see. I think it's going to be definitely a game in which I really want to watch. So that is one thing when Golden State does come, I'm very excited for. Now, moving on to the game that I am most excited to see, of course, I'm excited to see Anthony Davis. Of course, I'm excited to see how they face up against the Spurs and all of these other teams, these big-name teams. But there's one team that I feel is there's a rivalry brewing there. And although this is August and stuff is kind of mellowed out a little bit, I think that very first game when Michael Malone steps on Sacramento's surface again to play against us on February 19th, I think in this game, there's going to be a little bit of animosity. Not with DeMarcus Cousins, not necessarily with the players, but I kind of feel if Vivek is there, you're going to kind of see some tension if they say hi to each other. I don't know, because at the same time, George Karl took his job. They fired him for George Karl. So it's going to be kind of weird to see that very first game, that stuff leading up to the draft, all those rumors that were coming out. Should the Kings have passed on Emmanuel Mudiay? Were they already thinking about trading DeMarcus Cousins? Was that Pete D'Alessandro's work? Because Pete D'Alessandro was the one who's the GM now, or a front office job now in Denver. I mean, that's something I'm really looking forward to, because the Kings haven't had a real true rivalry in a long time, since that early 2000s, late 90s of the Lakers. So I want to see a real rivalry. And everyone who's saying this Denver team sucks, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's what they were saying about us when Michael Malone came on. You know what I mean? They're saying, oh, this Kings team still sucks. Now, did we only win 28 games? Of course we did. But that wasn't all his fault. I mean, he came in at a wrong time. You take Michael Malone, you saw what he did with this team, with Darren Collison, DeMarcus Cousins at the beginning of the season until he went down. This team was winning games. Now it all became about pace. So, I mean, if he gets to run his type of offense and build it through Emmanuel Mudiay, Kenneth Faried, Wilson Chandler, Danilo Gallinari, I mean, he has assets. He has players. That Nusif player, I can't pronounce his last name, or first name, Jusuf Nurkic.
Just call him Nurk, man. None of us can say his name.
Whatever, that one tall guy, all right? That guy, he's pretty good, all right? And they have a nice, decent team. So don't count that out as being a really good game come February 19th.
Well, and one of the things you didn't mention, again, that is the 54th game of the season. We're going to be well into knowing, are we making the playoffs? Are we doing well? Are we in the hunt? It's going to be a totally different reception if we're dying or if we're winning. It's going to be a totally different reception. How do we welcome him back? Do we love him, or do we hate the fact that we don't have him? It's all going to be based on how we're doing at the time. I mean, it's going to have very little to do with, damn near anybody else, I guess is the easy way to say it. It's only what we're doing at that point that's going to make any difference to how we receive old Mr. Malone.
Definitely. I want to remind everyone again that the Kings Court is sponsored by BrickHouseIndustries.com. Go to BrickHouseIndustries.com. Whatever you're going to buy, whatever it is, T-shirts, hats, anything, they have all these designs coming out. Go follow them on Twitter at BrickHouseIND. And go on BrickHouseIndustries.com. Whatever you buy, when it says promo code, click that. Use the promo code Kings Court. All one word, Kings Court. Use it. Get a discount on us. All right, Joe. So let's go ahead and transition out of the schedule here, because what we got to see recently, and our very own Drew Runberg kind of wrote about it, and that is Team USA. We were kind of hitting on it a little bit. But now we've actually had to see them play. Now Rudy Gay, he didn't get too many minutes, but at the same time he didn't do a lot in the minutes. He did score 9 points. DeMarcus Cousins leads Team White to a victory, I believe, with 24 points, 11 rebounds. But he also took 10 more shots than anybody else on his team. So I mean that's up for debate as well. But when you watch this game, and I don't know if you've watched it yet. I watched the replay, so I've watched it.
Yeah, I watched the replay too. I know we were. That's actually, for those of you who don't know, that's actually the day we were at the. We got to choose between watching that game and going to the Experience Center and walking through the Golden One Center. So we chose the Golden One Center. Figured we could watch that, on replay later. So we watched it later. So that is what it is.
So you've now watched the game.
Yeah.
After watching, did it make you lean in any way to where, DeMarcus Cousins is definitely going to make this roster?
I think he's the most likely. If it was up to me, I would say he's going to make it. Okay. I mean, LeBron, Durant, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, Steph Curry, they're making the team. There's no question. The most likely guys behind that.
There's 8 players that make this team. I believe so, automatically. 8 players that are definitively on this roster.
I got 6 for guarantees. I got 1, 2, 3. I basically the next 2. So are you calling man? Oh man, are you calling Leonard? I'm not even going to try to say his name. Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi. Man, I'm going to die not being able to say that right. Are you calling Kawhi Leonard a guarantee?
No, not necessarily. I think the locks that I have for sure, and this sucks, and that is I'm gonna go with, for point guards at least, is Chris Paul. I think definitely has a spot there. You have to put Steph Curry there. I mean, you're gonna have James Harden. You're gonna have, and honestly, I think this is a lock. Although he says I want to earn my spot, I believe this is a lock, and it sucks. And I think it's gonna be Kobe Bryant who gets another one of those guard spots. Then you go to forward, you're going to have LeBron James. You're going to definitely have Melo. You're going to have James Harden filling up another guard spot. That's 7 right there. I mean, I don't have Drew's piece in front of me to see what he had as his locks.
Yeah.
I'll probably pull it up in a second. But basically what he had is what I had.
See, I'm not going with Kobe. I know the name value is there, but I don't know. I don't obviously. Hey, I'm a Laker hater, but still, I don't think he has what it takes anymore. I mean, he's an old man. I think
has what it takes anymore. Oh my God.
I know you don't agree with me. Again, that's half the fun of this game.
That sounds like a straight homer statement.
But even if he makes it, that puts 10 together. If you count the guys I already named plus Kawhi Leonard, Blake Griffin, DeMarcus Cousins, and Kobe, that's 10. So you're saying he takes that final guard spot. You call Chris Paul, okay.
So here's what Drew had. For guards, he had Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. That's the 4 men that take the guard spots.
Okay.
Now at the forward position, you have LeBron James,
no
Kevin Durant, Carmelo Anthony, Klay Thompson, Kevin Love, and Kawhi Leonard. So he has Kawhi Leonard as a lock. I could put that as a question mark, but I do know that he's a rising star. His defense is there when it comes time to play a team like Spain, and of course he can shoot the 3-pointer. At centers, he has Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins as locks. However, what we saw out of Andre Drummond could be exactly what they're looking for. I mean, I know Boogie can do Boogie things. I mean, he can cross you up with his ball handling skills. He can post you with his muscle. He can take you away from the basket and shoot you with that jumper. I think that's what he tried to showcase a little bit in that showcase game of Team USA on Team White was he can shoot the 3-pointer. Because I believe he did like 2 or 3 times, or was it just once? I believe he did 2 or 3 times.
I think it was 2, but again, man, I didn't take stats on the game. I wasn't I wasn't watching it that tightly.
I mean, honestly, the names that a name that is being left off that I feel shouldn't be left off, because I feel like he's one of the better point guards in the league, and that's John Wall. But I mean, with names like Chris Paul, Stephen Curry, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, those are all names ahead of him. So I mean, I can't be mad at that. I mean, you also have guys like Kyrie Irving, Dwight Howard, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I mean, these are all names that are out there that are still potentially going to make this roster.
There's a lot of guys who are going to miss it. There's a lot of guys who are going to miss it who are amazing players, but they just aren't. I mean, man, you can only take a certain number of people, and when you're talking about the best in the league, you're talking about the best in the league. I mean, being the number 2 in the league doesn't make you a bad player, but yeah, it'd be a rough job to be Coach K right now.
I don't know. I can see them dropping DeMarcus and having Kevin Love be considered a center and putting in another like guard or forward or even someone who could play both, like Kobe Bryant. And you take DeMarcus off, and you have Kevin Love being considered as a center. Because I mean, that's what they did during the exhibition stuff. You know, what was it, 3-4 years ago when they did this in 2012.
Well, and what we've talked about offline is how, international play is a lot smaller, and they are going to be using stretch 4 a lot more than they would if this was an NBA game. So, I mean, you want the faster side. You don't want the traditional big man. I mean, it's harder to have a traditional big man playing in that role, but I still think DeMarcus has the athleticism, has the ability. I mean, again,
he has the skill to do it. He's arguably the best offensively gifted big man in the NBA. What he can do offensively is tremendous. His defense is finally catching up with him a little bit. He's finally getting there. I mean, he can take charges. He can block shots. I think a rule that could help him is you can block shots off the rim during the Olympics, which could help him out a little bit. But at the same time, it's just there's been players that have already been in that. They've already seen the winning system with this. They were already there in 2012. Now a good thing that I think falls on DeMarcus Cousins' side is they did have trouble against Spain for a little while. Like, the Gasol brothers were a problem for them because they didn't have enough size on Team USA. They had Tyson Chandler and they had Anthony Davis. And DeMarcus Cousins is tremendously better than Tyson Chandler. I feel like physically he can match up better with a Marc Gasol, with a Pau Gasol. So if they're looking for someone who could fill in as a Tyson Chandler role, what we saw from Andre Drummond putting up those numbers, first off, Detroit now is stacked because Greg Monroe is out, and if Andre Drummond can do that on a nightly basis, that's crazy. But what he can do, being that if they're trying to find someone to replace a Tyson Chandler in that Tyson Chandler role, I mean, I'd probably go with him as well. I mean, I just want a shot blocker that occasionally can dunk the ball. And if he can do a little bit more, kudos for that. But if he can just match up, bang down low, and block shots and be a good help defender, Andre Drummond, I feel, is better than that than DeMarcus. So there is definitely I don't feel DeMarcus Cousins is a slide-in. I don't think he's a lock. I think he's literally matched up from beginning to end of the season. Will show whether or not he can be on the Team USA roster. And I feel like they're going to watch his attitude, too. So if they start losing games and his attitude flares up, I think that'll be a problem for him as well when they look to start assembling this roster.
You go wash your mouth out. Don't say anything about his attitude. He's going to be amazing this year.
Well, I mean, we can't. I hope so. I mean, honestly, I would love to jump in the river. If the Kings make the playoffs as a 7th seed, as an 8th seed, I mean, I really don't care. I will jump in the river because I will be so proud. I am a Kings fan. I'm just saying, on the realistic side of it, you have to realize that DeMarcus Cousins does have an attitude problem. I love when you see him on Jimmy Kimmel and he goes, oh, man, I think they call him like a schizophrenic lesbian or something like that. It's hilarious. I really want to hear what it is. But I can't remember what it is, an emotional lesbian or something like that. It's one of the mean tweets he had to read. But like I said, I don't think it's a lock for him to get it. I think they're going to watch every little bit of him this season to see whether or not he does get that spot on this team. And that sucks because I do think he's offensively the best center in the league and, if anything else, the top 3 center in this league. So,
well, and one of the other things we haven't brought up, too, is, I mean, we got a whole season to play before this actually happens. We have a whole season of injuries. We have a whole season of guys getting better, guys getting worse, guys having meltdowns, guys doing all sorts of stuff. So right now, again, it's pretty early to call it. But what we were talking about a second ago, I mean, Anthony Davis is healthy at the end of the year. He's the starting center. I don't see an argument to that. I think that they need somebody who's the more, I don't want to say traditional, I don't know, the big man who's supposed to be the big man. And that's where I say DeMarcus would be the guy backing him up. I just see that as the answer. As long as everything plays out this year. I mean, again, I'm betting on no injuries. I'm betting on no crazy stuff, but I see DeMarcus being the traditional guy behind him that they actually have to have when they go to play traditional ball as opposed to a stretch 4, running the court, whatever other weird stuff that Coach K comes up with. I mean, when they're actually playing traditional ball, trying to slow it down towards the end of the game. I mean, there's no way that they don't throw DeMarcus in there.
I want to throw it out to you guys, the fans, whether that be Cat or Jay, Drew Runberg. Drew, if you want to come on in because this is your piece, I see that you are in the chat room here. Give us a call in. Let's talk about it a little bit. Cat or Jay, call in on the show. We have that bug little fix, so we won't have these technical difficulties like we did last time. But I'm just saying, I'm looking in this chat board here, and I'm going to go back to this Kobe stuff because Cat or Jay writes something here. He kind of agrees with me. He says Kobe getting a spot is trash. Not saying he definitely won't. It won't happen. Just that it's trash. He's not one of the best guards anymore. For me, I think that's crazy talk. He is one of the best guards still.
No.
He can still play defense. Are you kidding? What? Because of injuries, is that really why you guys are going to say he's not one of the best guards anymore? He's still, as a however old he is, an old ass man. All right, still put up numbers. He still put up numbers. No one can guard him. He is crafty. He has learned that the older that he gets, he's not athletic. He's gotten smarter with how he does things. He can still take people through the post. He does pass the ball when wanting to. I do feel like when he was on last few years, he has been on a shitty team. Excuse my language, but that's what the Lakers were.
Man, I love hearing that. Say that again. The Lakers are a what?
A shitty team.
Oh, I'm doing a dance. Hold on. Let me enjoy this moment. Okay. All right, go ahead.
So, I mean, the Lakers they were a terrible team. So, of course, you have to take more shots. I mean, I would rather have Kobe taking a shot with 3 people in front of him than having Swaggy P take a shot with 2. You know what I mean? And Swaggy P takes a stupid shot, and that's who we were looking to pass to. And so now I'm like, okay, well, he's going to have still a lot of responsibility with D'Angelo Russell there. I think he's going to have a little bit of help with Lou Williams so he can get some rest. But, I mean, he's still one of the best guards. I don't see why I want to know the reason why you guys think he's not one of the best players in the league anymore.
Catter J in the chat room says he could be totally sidelined by the summer with a broken whatnot. And in my mind, I'm thinking, yeah, maybe his walker breaks on the way to the game.
You guys are ridiculous. Are you kidding me right now?
It's the ambulance that takes him from the old folks' home to the court. It doesn't make it one day.
Speaking of players, guys, I want to throw out some news here. On Wednesday, and this has
hold on one second. We got another call coming in. Let's see who it is. All right, who's live with us right now?
That's Drew.
Hey, what's happening, Drew? All right, Vince.
Mr. Runberg, how you doing today, sir?
Good. How are you guys?
Not too shabby, my friend. I am just finishing up my daughter's birthday, like I said earlier in the show, and we are right now talking about your piece that you did for the Team USA Showcase scrimmage game. I want to get your side of this. I want to get your thoughts on it. You wrote about it. You think DeMarcus Cousins is a lock for gathering a spot on this roster?
No. And so to clarify, I listed 8 locks, and kind of in order. CP3 and Curry at the point guard. At shooting guard, it'd be Harden and Westbrook. Westbrook's obviously a point guard, but I think in international play, he'll play more of a shooting guard. At forwards, you have LeBron, Durant, Carmelo, and then at center, you have Anthony Davis. Those are kind of my 8 locks. And then I think the other 4 I put in was Kevin Love, which he's a big question mark coming into this season, obviously, with his injury. So that's obviously a wait and see. But his style of play fits really well in international, the way he can stretch at the 4 position. You guys mentioned earlier, he can play some 5 at that level, and he's just a killer rebounder, a great outlet passer in transition. So if he's healthy, I see Kevin Love on the team. So I think when it comes to Cousins, I think it's going to come down to either him. You mentioned Drummond, which I think you make a great argument for Drummond, or Dwight Howard, who also has that USA experience. He's played in not this last one because I think he has the back injury, but the one before then. And I think the argument for Dwight there is really because I think that Dwight will have his detractors. But Colangelo's always said, kind of with those last 3 or 4 spots, he wants specialists. This isn't like a top 12 list of the best players we can take to the Olympics. This is the best team we can put together. So those bottom slots, Colangelo has reserved for those specialists. A defensive specialist, maybe a 3-point specialist, and then maybe a rim protector specialist. So that's kind of why I throw Dwight Howard in there as well. As if there's a rim protector, I think it's still Dwight over Cousins, probably still over DeAndre. But as you pointed out, Drummond might be the best of both worlds. He has that rim protection, but he also has the scoring that Cousins brings along.
Joe, let me ask you, if Drummond made it over DeMarcus Cousins, would you be mad?
Well, as a fan, of course I'd be mad, but I mean, like he just said, it's not the best 12 players. It's the best guys that you can get as a team to play together. But yeah, I mean, of course I'd be a little pissy if
the only reason why I throw that question at you is because on the last episode, I believe you were the same person who said you didn't want Boogie on this team.
No, and I don't.
You're
I'm not saying that I want him there. I'm saying who's likely to make it. We're not having the same conversation. The conversation last time was, if I was, Lord of the World, would I let Boogie go? No, I don't want Boogie hurt. I don't want Rudy hurt. I care how the Sacramento Kings do. I don't care. We're going to win the gold medal with pick any 12 people that we've talked about tonight. Pick any 12. Pick the lowest 12 that you can pick on the list we've gone down. We win the gold. There's no question in my mind. So it's not like we're saying, oh, man, if we don't send the right guys, we're not going to win. Bro, honestly, we're going to play like Spain. Name 5 players in Spain. Name their 12th man. Do you think I'm just saying, do you think Boogie wouldn't make the team there? Do you think Boogie wouldn't make the team in England? Do you think Boogie wouldn't make I mean, come on. Like,
this is Team USA.
Great. I've played for Team USA when bullets were being thrown. I'm not saying that I don't love the country. I'm saying that I don't think that it should be his focus. His focus is what the Kings do. Now, again, it's what he wants. I hope he gets it. I hope he comes home with a gold. It's a hell of a thing to have on your mantelpiece. Hell, I thought about learning some silly-ass sport. Maybe I could go. We could all form a what's that silly ice game where they brush the ground? I can't even think of it. We could form a team.
They have trampolining now, don't they?
What was that?
I think they have trampolining now.
Oh yeah, let's form a trampolining team. Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh,
I am great at doing front flips and landing on my face on a trampoline.
I'm just saying. I mean, I would. Hey, Catter J in the chat room just told me curling is what it's called. Hey, let's start a curling team. We'll go. I'll bring I got a couple brooms laying around the house. I'm sure we got something we can slide down the ice. We can win a gold medal. I mean, hey, it looks cool on a mantelpiece, but do you know what looks better? A ring on your hand.
That's true, too.
I'm not saying that it's not an amazing accomplishment. I'm saying that how many times in an NBA Hall of Fame discussion have you said, he doesn't have a gold medal, so he can't go in the Hall of Fame? But I guarantee at least once in your time talking about basketball, you've said, he's pretty good, but he never won a championship. But never in the history of sportscasting has anybody gone, I really like, pick a player. I really like Dr. J, but he never won a gold medal, so we can't put him in. I mean,
you're putting me in a spot where I'm like, you're right, and it's very rare that I say that, so I feel weird saying, Joe, you're actually kind of making a strong argument. You're kind of right now. I don't know, but I still would rather. But what's that one thing you always say? It's good to want things because it builds character.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Cousins wants this. It's building his character.
And I want him to go because he wants to go. I feel like this is the way I talk to my children. Like, I feel like I'm talking to my kids when I'm talking to Boogie. I hope he's listening. But, I mean, I want him to get what he wants out of it. I just want him to know that it's more important to win that ring than it is to win that gold. If you can do both, if you can find a way to do both, then do it. It's like when your kid tells you they want to be in the NBA and you say, that's fine, keep that dream alive, but also get your degree in whatever else. Like, I'm not saying don't go for your dream. I'm saying make sure that the first dream that you have is that ring on your hand at some point. Sacramento needs it. Our community needs it. Our fans need it. We need it. I mean, we got a new stadium. We got a new ownership group. We're finally rid of those creatures that we had owning the team in the past. So, again, I want him to go. I want him to get what he wants. But I want him to have hardware on his hand, not around his neck. Nobody in the history of the NBA has ever worn a necklace and been and that's not a championship. It's amazing. It's a thing we can do. But again, you could pick 12 people out of the NBA randomly. I can go to random.org right now, put the NBA roster in, and we're probably meddling. So I'm just not as concerned. I mean, it'd be one thing if we were losing every year, and we needed a team put together. You remember when the first Dream Team went? Well, yeah, we never won because we were sending these college kids. So, yeah, it was amazing when it happened the first time. But now that we send pros, come on, we're winning. Get over it. I mean, I don't even know why we compete anymore.
I want to go back to Drew just because he's on the phone. He did have to take time to call in.
I'm sorry.
Drew, while you're here, buddy, we were talking about the schedule earlier in the show. I don't know if you heard about it at all. But what are some of the games that you're most looking forward to seeing? Being that, I know that now the NBA has thrown in this new thing where you can actually start purchasing certain games. So being that you're from Portland, you don't get to watch this team as like me and Joe do. Being that we're from Sacramento, we get to watch these shows for free. You're gonna have to choose some of these games unless you're gonna put them in your league package. But what are some of those games on that schedule that you're most looking forward to?
Well, first off, I will be putting them in my package because I got to get every game. But as far, I was looking at it today, and I looked at, let's look at the first 10, and it is I don't want to say a brutal start, but it's a really interesting start for the Kings, especially now with, bringing in Willie Cauley-Stein with DeMarcus Cousins. It's kind of counterculture with how the rest of the NBA is going. The rest of the NBA is going small, and now we have like the two big system. But we're going up against Clippers two times in the first three games. So we're going to go against DeAndre Jordan right there. So you're going to have the big body smashing down low with DeAndre and Cousins. You then have Memphis, who have a pair of big guys themselves. They are a bruiser of a team with Randolph and Gasol as well. So that's an exciting matchup for me. I'm excited about the Rockets for the same reason, going up against Dwight Howard. But another thing I kind of wanted to look at was going back to our playoff river debate we've got going on here. Who are the teams that we're really fighting for that final 8 spot, and when do we play them and how do we play them? So I think Dallas is one we discussed and kind of agreed that they're kind of our stiffest competition for that 8 spot. And unfortunately, we played them 4 times, and 2 of those are on back-to-back. So the first one being on, let's see here, January 5th. So that'll be interesting to watch.
That's my birthday. Yep, that's my birthday. Throw that out there. Y'all can buy me stuff. I like cheesecake. Just throwing that out there. Thanks, man.
So that's going to be at Dallas. And then the next one is going to be March 3rd, and that's at Dallas as well. And again, another back-to-back. So those are going to be tough games. And then we have another back-to-back against Denver, which I didn't put in that 8-spot debate at first, but you mentioned some things this past week that's got me thinking. Denver might be a decent team, and then we play Utah on a back-to-back as well on the 14th. So those are going to be tough games for us to win, but they're going to be important that we do.
Definitely, I completely agree with you. What I love hearing is I cannot remember. I think it was Shaq who said it on that show. Was it the Inside Court or what? Inside Court, I think it is, or Open Court on NBA TV, where he literally says when you look at a schedule, you're looking at only 10 games. And in those 10 games, you have to win at least 60% of those games. That means 6 out of those 10 games you need to win. And I think when you look at the Kings' schedule and you break it down 10 games at a time, there's games in there that can definitely be looked at as wins, and there's games in there where you're going to be like, okay, we're going to probably have to suck up and get a loss here because you're coming in off a back-to-back, or something's going to happen there. But again, this is any given night. Anything can happen, of course. And there's going to be games in here that we're going to win. There's going to be definitely games in here that we should have won and we lost. But I don't know. I think the Utah Jazz are going to come back strong. I know Joe is not a huge fan of them. I think what they showed in the second half of after the second half of the season last year and after the All-Star break, they were a strong team. They were the best team in the Western Conference. And defensively, they're strong. Yes, they lost Dante Exum, but let's be honest, what did Dante Exum do for the team last year that made you go, oh my gosh, we just lost a potential All-Star right there? It's like saying the Kings the Kings traded away Nick Stauskas, but we got Marco Bellinelli. So it's like, what did we really lose there? Like, we didn't lose anything, and that's kind of like the same argument that I look at that. They lost Dante Exum, but was he really something that was going to be considered a game changer going into year 2, of which year 1 was not that promising? I mean, they still have Trey Burke, who I believe will be traded at some point during the season, but not a huge fan of what he does. He's a shooting guard in a point guard's body, unfortunately for him. Dallas is definitely going to be a strong contender there. I think Dallas is going to be extremely hard to play every single night. I think every game is definitely a must-watch game against Dallas, because that's the team that you're going to see having to beat us, and we're going to have to beat them, so we can always hold the what's the word I'm looking for, the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So that's one game. Right. I also think New Orleans could be a team that, although they were really good, has the potential to start dropping down, because I see themselves, because they're in a new system now, without the Gentry, could Anthony Davis start falling a little weary under superstardom, under being known as the guy? Because Tyreek Evans and Eric Gordon really did help a lot last year by keeping the ball out of his hands. And whether that's helping or not, we'll find out going into the season. But I feel like you're going to see a lot of up and down with that team as well. So every time you beat them, the Kings beat them, I should say, it's going to be something to watch. And these are the teams you're going to have to watch for. So there's 4 teams, and I definitely believe it's going to be Dallas, New Orleans, Utah, and maybe Denver. But
right.
I'm having it as Phoenix.
I'm thinking about Phoenix too. Our first game against Phoenix is at Phoenix, November 4th. So we got Clippers, Lakers, Clippers, Memphis, Phoenix. That's going to be rough. I mean, the Lakers are an obvious. We got that, no question. The other 5 of those, the rest of those 5 games.
The Lakers aren't that bad, though. I wouldn't say that either. The Lakers are not that bad.
I'll pick 5 dudes at the next. I'll pick 5 dudes at the Boys and Girls Club and go play the Lakers.
Oh my God. The Lakers you wouldn't score one time.
All right, look. Then we got Houston, Golden State, San Antonio, Detroit, Brooklyn. That's our top.
Brooklyn.
That's our first. No. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that's our top 10. That's our top 10. That's our first 10 games. Okay?
Oh, okay.
No, so you're reading those games and you're thinking, okay, the Clippers are going to be tough, and if we take them at home on the first game, that's going to be a good game. I mean, I hope to hell we win that, because it's going to be real hard to beat them at home. Now Memphis, we're playing them at home. Hopefully we take that game, but again, that could go either way. Phoenix, we're playing at Phoenix. Houston at home. Golden State at home. That's going to be a tough game. San Antonio at home. And then Detroit, Brooklyn, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not that worried about those. But that still leaves 7, maybe even 8 of those first 10 games are going to be like tough as hell. So we could start this season 8-2, and it's not like we're that bad. It's just that the other teams that we're playing so close together up front are that good. So it's going to be real hard to come back from that. You know, the worst thing to start as is an underdog. The worst thing to start as is below 500. 2-8. Yeah, Cat or J fix me. You know what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Thank God for the chat room. I'd never get anything right. No, again, I mean, we start at 2-8, and I mean, man, it could be hard to climb back out of that. I mean, you got to win an extra 6.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, but you say it's a problem, but I mean, look at that schedule.
If they start 2-8, that's where you can start having the question. That's where you can start having the question of, is George Karl going to be on the move? If they start first 10 games, you give the team first 15. If they do not pick up after 15 games, you're like, oh, okay, that's not that bad. But then you get to 15 games, and they've only won, 5 more games, or 2 more games on top of that. So they've won 2, lost 3. I mean, Drew, I'm going to throw it over to you. Do you think that's where you can start seeing rumors of George Karl not being on the move? Because if this team starts off slow, with so much that has happened going into the season, there's a very short leash on this team right now.
Yeah. Well, I think that's, and I as a side note, have them going 4-6 in the first 10 games. So hopefully it doesn't come to that, because I'm just not a big fan of mid-season coaching fires. I think they rarely do you any good, and they're rarely constructive. So hopefully it doesn't come to that. But yeah, I think, even in the offseason they were looking to get rid of Karl. But I sure hope it doesn't happen, just because, I don't think it's going to solve anything, and B, I don't know if there's a better option out there. Actually, I do know that there's not a better option out there. So, hopefully we make that.
There's nobody out there that's better than George Karl. There's no
Tom
chance.
Thibodeau.
No. There's nobody that we're going to pick up mid-season that's going to do better than what George Karl's going to do. That's not, there's no way. Especially not coming in after he's had a year with them, after he's had a training camp with them. I'm not saying he might not be a better coach at some point. I'm not disagreeing. I don't know the guy well enough. But what I do know is nobody can do better half season, than a guy who's had the whole training camp. I mean, that's one of those silly things. You bring a guy in halfway through, he has no chance to learn anybody. He doesn't know what he's doing other than watching game film, and then he tries to take over. That's just, I mean, you're asking for a disaster on top of an already disaster. So, and that's what we did last year. Don't even, I mean, again, talking about it, we should wash our mouths out with Sacramento River water. Like, it's horrible.
No, I absolutely agree. I think it'd be counterproductive, and especially that early in the season. It's one thing if you're out of the playoffs already, you've got maybe 10, 12 games left. But yeah, hopefully in the first quarter, there's no firings. That would be a death sentence really for the rest of the season.
It's going to be a bad
come
beginning.
Come January, Drew, Joe, whoever wants to answer this, but come January, if the Kings are looking at on the verge of possibly only being 30 wins, and let's be honest, 33 wins, 34, 35 wins is not a playoff team in the Western Conference. And if their outlook is that come January, the end of December, then are you guys talking about that firing? Because
no,
like I said,
never mid-season. No. I would never ever.
What do you mean? Not no. This Kings team does it. Do we not just see what happened? They just went through 3 coaches in a carousel like it was a circus last year.
Yeah, exactly. And see how that worked out?
And this offseason has been a circus. Yeah, this offseason's been a circus with George Karl. You remember the damn tweet that DeMarcus Cousins put out of a snake in grass? You remember the handshake that looked so awkward just a few months ago? I mean, this stuff is still building up. George Karl is on a short leash. DeMarcus Cousins, he's 24 years old. He's a young, up-and-coming superstar that has Hall of Fame talent. Yes, he is staying. So why not get him with a coach that he likes, like they did with Michael Malone? Not saying that they should do it. I think they should ride out George Karl. He's a Hall of Fame coach, first ballot Hall of Famer. But if you're looking at it, and come January, you're only looking at 35 wins. Let's be honest, something has to give at some point. Okay. What if Rondo's not doing it? What if no one likes losing?
Let me ask you this math here.
DeMarcus Cousins demands a trade.
Let me ask you the math here. Okay, the first 10 games I already named. The next 10 and the next 10. Up to the 30th game, we're playing 6 away and 6 away in both of those 10s. Okay, we're playing not at home. We're playing 4 at home, 4 at home. So the first 30 games, we play 12. We play over half, we play half of them away. Okay, plus on top of that, the initial 10 that I told you about that are all hard games. What I'm trying to say is, and that takes us into December 27th. December 28th, we're playing away at Golden State. So yeah, if we're under par at that point, coming into January, man, well, it's because we've had the hardest part of our season. That means, and I've seen it in the chat room, I've seen it talked about too, that means if we played the hard games, the easy games are coming. So why would you switch horses when you've already gone through the toughest part? You don't change mid-battle. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to change anything mid-battle.
Drew, what about you? Are you still falling on that side of the Kings are not going to fire George Karl? Because I'm not saying that they should do. I'm just saying is, don't rule that out. Like, don't just say because it's George Karl, because it's been a year, because the hard part of the schedule. No offense, I'm not like throwing you or anything like that, or throwing jabs at you or anything. I'm just saying the West is hard. The teams are now harder. If you cannot win and you're not getting along, because, I mean, losing has been a problem for this team. It has been a problem for the star franchise player of DeMarcus Cousins. You think Rajon Rondo on a $9.5 million deal is going to want to re-sign here again? No, not if they're losing. So they're going to want to get rid of something. So Drew, what do you think? Have I moved you over a little bit to where if it comes January he can be gone?
Yeah. Well, I think the question is not if we think they should, but if they will. And
yes, that's my question.
If the record isn't what we would hope, I still think that they'll stick with Karl. I think where it gets different is if there has been an explosion, if there has been a problem between Karl and Cousins or Karl and Rondo, as many of us are speculating or predicting. I think that's point when you say, okay, you've got interpersonal problems and you have performance problems, just like in any employee standpoint, that's the time to go. Whereas if you're getting along with the team, if you're getting along with the players and the staff, but the performance isn't quite there yet, I think with him being so new to the team, I think they stick with him in that sense. So it's going to come down to how it's going interpersonally, I think.
Well, and again, what's being said in the chat room, Catter J again is saying, he thinks Vlad is smarter than that. We don't know that he has some personality thing with Carl like Pete did with Malone. I mean, there's a huge difference there. Pete never liked Malone. So obviously he wanted to get rid of him. He wanted an excuse. DeMarcus getting broken, DeMarcus getting hurt, losing those games. I mean, it gave him a bullet to fire, and he fired it. It doesn't make it right. Okay. It doesn't make it smart. And Vladdy is smarter than that. Again, the Vlad father is a smart man. We've been trusting in him all year. Why would we stop now?
And I agree with you. Like, Vlade Divac has been an awesome vice president of basketball franchise operations. So, I mean, I completely agree with it. But this is my only rebuttal to it. This is me saying devil's advocate. And this is no way of me saying that I think George Karl should be fired. I don't think that. I don't want that to happen. I like George Karl as a coach. I like he did in Denver. I think he's amazing. But there's been slight jabs that Vlade has said. He basically said, I would choose DeMarcus over you, George Karl. So either you shape up or you don't do it. Now, how has he done that? Where has that been said? It hasn't like he's come in and blatantly said it. What he has said is, we are not trading DeMarcus Cousins. And that statement was said after George Karl has stated, I've never had a star player that's been untradeable. Right. And then he comes out, you know what I mean? Like, those aren't like real jabs. These are things where, boom, like, DeMarcus Cousins isn't going nowhere. He's a Hall of Fame talent. He's a superstar. Why would we give away a franchise player?
But do you know what this argument is right now? This argument right now is man, if they do bad. And to be honest with you, it's breaking my heart. So let's just, it's not going to be the answer. We're going to win. Let's have a little bit of faith. Let's just be real. They're not going to have a bad year, and we're going to keep Carl. We're going to keep DeMarcus. It's going to be amazing. Let's just. There's
a buyout clause on his team, Catter J. I believe there's a buyout clause on his contract. I see Carl. He says Carl's under contract for 4 years. There's a buyout clause in the contract to where if they can agree to terms, they can actually buy out his contract. Look it up. I can't remember exactly what it is, but they can buy out his contract. And with DeMarcus Cousins, I believe it's 3 more years starting this season because he just signed his extension also. So, and we got DeMarcus Cousins for cheap. So think about what we'd be willing to offer them if they start winning. And they are going to start winning. This team is significantly better than where they couldn't start winning. But Drew, I'm going to wrap it up with you here, buddy. Let the fans know what you're working on right now. You've emailed me back and forth about what you're going to be working on. So let them know what you're going to start diving into going into this next week, and what they should be expecting from you on StatKingsNation.com.
Yeah, I was hoping to have it out earlier, but expect early this week, Monday, Tuesday, something again breaking down DeMarcus Cousins, but also some of the best players out there that could be even better this upcoming season and why. And then later on this week, I think people can expect an article on the smaller free agent signings and kind of breaking down what they can mean to this team as players, as stats, but also as assets.
What about the Nancy Lieberman?
Oh, yes. Yeah, so that's going to be a longer-term project. I want to really take my time, go in-depth. It's going to be an in-depth piece on Nancy Lieberman. I'm hoping to get an interview, be able to talk with her. I've already got a few books on order, so I'm definitely going to dive deep into research and lay it out. I think it's exciting seeing Sacramento is being a middle market, a smaller market team. Is they really have opportunities to be groundbreakers. But it is cool to at least for me to have Nancy Lieberman on board and kind of what she brings to the table. I think there's more to her than just being one of the first women, but to also know her as a coach and kind of what her hopes are. So expect that in the coming weeks.
Awesome, Drew. And then just before I also let you go out here, I have a quick question to ask you. It's nothing related to the show. It's nothing related to the Kings. It's related to StatKingsNation.com. We've had a problem with our dashboard. Have you looked at it? Is it now fixed? Did you get my email of what we're trying to do?
I haven't looked at it yet. I should look at it tonight. We just moved, so I'm in between internet providers. So I'm actually listening to King's Court podcast via my phone. So we're mobile. But no, I'll check it out tonight.
Awesome. Just email me back and let me know what you think. And also, you guys, Drew, thanks again for coming on the show. I'll message you after the show is over, and we can talk about more about what you see from the dashboard and stuff like that. So thank you for coming on the show for that as well. You can go ahead and cut that through. And then if you guys have any calls now that Drew's been on, you guys feel free to call in 916-273-9777. We're coming down to the closing last minutes up here of the show. So what I do want to let you guys know is that the Sac Nation is getting redone. It's getting basically a makeover. So be looking out for it sometime late next week, maybe mid next week, to seeing what Saxonization is going to be turning into. We want to hear all of your guys' input come that next time on the King's Court. Joe and I have been working extremely hard to try and keep this thing going. Our writers, Josh and Drew, and myself, Joe, we've been trying to keep that content going for you like crazy, up and down all the time. And so let us know what you guys think. It's awesome if you guys can leave your guys' comments in the comment section below of all of our articles. Retweet it out, share it, let everyone know the Sac Kings Nation name, the King's Court podcast name. We're trying to expand, we're trying to grow, and we need your guys' help. Now, to start rounding up the show, to finishing it up here, we did say we're going to give away some hashtag Kings swag from the stuff that we got from that Golden One tour. Joe, you want to let them know what we got?
Yeah, man, oh man, we scored a lot of stuff. We got hats, we got shirts, we got glasses. I'm looking at hold on a second. I'm trying to see what it is. We got a backpack. We got a Frisbee. We're not going to give it all the way today. I want to save some of it for next week. We're going to give away, let's say, 2 things. One to Facebook, one to Twitter. And I think you already did the Twitter drawing, didn't you?
I did do the Twitter drawing right before the show. So if you follow SacNation.com on Twitter at SKN Articles or myself at VM Center, I put you guys in a raffle. And this is, I believe I put this out on Thursday that I was going to do this raffle. And it's been kind of just continuing on. I've had some names in here growing and growing. And so I did it. I went through random.com and I got the name out there. So while I'm pulling up your name here, couple of things that we do have that we are going to be giving out today is one of the Sacramento Kings backpacks. It's one of those basically ones that you would bring to like a gym, put some stuff in there. Really cool swag bag. That's what they call it. That's what they called it for us down there at the Golden One Arena when we were getting them looked at. So there's that, and then on Facebook we're going to be giving away a Sac Kings Nation T-shirt. And Joe, you're taking care of that one, correct?
Yeah, on Facebook, we're giving away the Sac Kings Nation T-shirt, and actually, I just got the names all put in. I actually added Catter J because he's not on Facebook with us, but man, oh man, does he talks a lot in our chat room, so he's getting dropped in there too, just to see if he wins. So we got about 16 people in there. So give me 1 second. I'm about to hit the randomizer button.
And while that's going down right now, the winner.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. So the winner of the Twitter Random Shuffle, who wins the Sacramento Kings hashtag King Swag backpack, goes to Trill Woody or Twitter handle at AccurateTech78. Okay. So, all right. Congratulations to you there. High fives. Clap, 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 clap. Woo! Cheers! If you got that sound bite right there, Joe. This is the time to use it. Put it on.
Of course, I don't. Of course, I don't have it up right now. Good job. Way to get me some more technical difficulties. P.S. Moment of silence for last week's show. All right. Okay. All right.
So I will be tweeting you out Trill Woody. I don't know your real name, but it does say your name on Twitter is Trill Woody.
Yeah, we'll shoot him out a tweet here when it's over.
Mr. Woody, you did win, sir. So I will follow and DM you. I need you to DM me back by Tuesday at 6 p.m. If I do not get that by Tuesday at 6 p.m., you will lose your prize and it will go on to the next show. So DM me back. If you're listening to the show, awesome. If not, I will be DMing you at your own Twitter handle. If you guys heard me say the Twitter handle earlier, go give them a follow on Twitter. Joe, who do we got winning the Sac Kings Nation T-shirt on Facebook?
On Facebook, we have DeFazio, and that is George DeFazio. He followed us, or rather, he liked us on Sac Kings Kingdom. So I'll go on there and find him and send him a message. Same thing. He's the one getting the shirt. You're getting a Sac Kings Nation T-shirt. So George DeFazio, congratulations. And I'm going to go on there in a minute and go ahead and send him a message. Same thing, though. If you don't get back to us by Tuesday, what'd you say, at 6 o'clock?
6 p.m. Tuesday
okay,
by
then
6
then we'll
p.m.
have to move it on. But I'm pretty sure, Facebook and Twitter, it's not like people don't live with their phone attached to them nowadays. I'm pretty sure we're going to be being born with it just attached. So
I'm telling you right now, my phone is always dead because I'm on my phone. My phone literally lives on the charger because I'm on it way too much.
We're going to be born with like sun power put on our hats. That way we always have power chargers with us.
That would actually be a great invention. Like, get one of those things that just a sun panel for the back of a phone.
Oh,
so like
man,
whenever like you're sitting in your room, flip the phone upside down, your phone gets charged. That would be an amazing invention.
If I was only about 1% smarter, I can barely get my solar panels to work at the house, man. I ain't even trying to put one in a hat. I'd be 300 pounds trying to walk around, carry that thing around. But I'm sure somebody somewhere can do it. Feel free. Take my invention. I don't care. Just send me one.
If you guys use it, please call it Vince Miracle's product. Let's put a miracle product in there.
I don't care what you call it. Just send me one.
Just because you guys got the idea from the King's Court and I said it. Like, I just want my name to be on it. And then can I get, if you become a millionaire, can I just get, $1? Because,
I don't want $1. Again, I want the product. I want to be able to...
I'm not hungry right now. I'm just throwing that out there.
I don't want $1, man. I want the product. I want to be able to charge my phone. I don't care who makes it. Just make it and send me one.
I would want a free product too, and then maybe some free phones, or at least every year I get the updated version of how the new product is working.
We got
Apple phone.
We got some other news. Do you want to go ahead and pass out some of it right now? I know we're not 100% on it, but I know it's going to be happening. We just don't have numbers yet and specific games. So, do you want to go ahead and pass that tonight?
Shoot. Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Let's start off with one of the very first things that we are doing and kind of let them know what we're working on here is with Sac Kings Nation, we are expanding. So with Sac Kings Nation expanding, we have now took over the domains of SacRiverCatsNation.com and SacRepublicNation.com, and we are looking for writers. Now, those websites are being made up right now. They're being done up. They're getting ready to look pretty, if I had to say it in a way. But we do still need content for those sites, and writers for those sites. So if any of you guys are interested out there, we need writers that love soccer. Sacramento Republic's doing great. We need writers that can cover them. We need writers and reporters for the River Cats. And being that those two teams are both, local teams, being that those two teams are very open to the public, being a reporter for those teams and saying you want to cover them should be very easy to get you into certain types of games or getting you interviews with those types of players. And us here at Sac Kings Nation, which are now going into Sac Sports Nation, because Sac Kings Nation, Sac River Cats Nation, Sac Republic, they're all going to be under the umbrella of Sac Sports Nation, which will be coming up here very, very soon as well. We are going to help you on that end to try and get you to those certain things. And speaking of getting into certain games, Joe, why don't we tell them about these whole numbers, these whole certain games kind of things, what you're bringing up?
All right, the numbers that I'm bringing up is we're going to be buying some group events to Kings games and giving them away. What I'm really hoping is, and again, bear with me, I'm not going to say specific games, but you heard the games that I'm excited about. Just imagine that those are probably the ones that I'm trying to get groups to. Again, I can't speak to it until between Monday and Wednesday. I'm going to find out exactly how many in which games, but there's going to be a whole lot of tickets given away. Because what I want to do, I want to take a group of us. There is a handful of different things that you can do. You can go down in the tunnel and actually high-five the squad on the way into the game. You can
high-five squad.
Yeah, exactly. You get to walk up and actually give high fives before the game starts. There's a photo session where we can all go down on the court right after the game and get a picture taken with Slamson. I think some of the girls, whatever the case may be.
And everyone wearing a Sac Kings Nation t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. I'm pretty excited about that. There's the home tunnel watch. It's kind of like the high five squad. You get to watch the guys getting ready. You get to watch them do their pregame rituals. And we're trying to get.
What time is it? Game time.
We're trying to get some of this stuff going because I want an excuse to do these things. You guys are my excuse. Let's get 100 people. Let's get 50 people. Let's get 25 people. Let's go to a game. We're going to give a bunch of them away. If more people want into our group, we can always, get more. It never hurts to have more people. And we can do some really cool stuff. We can do pregame
we're going to
stuff.
be selling and giving them away as well. We're not going to be giving away all these tickets. I mean, we're going to give away a handful of them. We're also going to be selling some as well. So, I mean, look out for certain types of tweets. Look out for, like, certain types of keywords. Keep listening to the show because there's little things that we're going to be doing throughout the entire season that you all are going to want to be a part of. And the best way to get all that news is following Sac Kings Nation on Twitter. Twitter handle, again, is at SKN Articles because, yes, we are going to bring you guys on as fans. You guys like Saturday being on the chat board and things like that. Like, we are going to get you guys definitely coming to games with us, sitting there with us, being in the tunnel, doing the high five crew, being in that locker room, getting that environment, getting that feel. And
I want pregame.
At the same time, we're going to sell some away.
Pregame barbecues and having fun as fans. I want to get together with everybody. I want to hoot. I want to holler. I want some chants. We're going to work out some chants. If any of you guys have ever been to a Republic game and seen the Tower Bridge Battalion, I'm really hoping that we can get something like that where we can have some fight chants and we can get going and get everybody in the stadium saying the same thing. If we're all sitting together in one section, man, we can make some noise. And I'm already a loud dude. I can run some chants, and you guys can follow me. It is going to be more fun than a person should be allowed to have. I'm telling you, we're going to get crazy. We're going to get crazy. We're going to get loud, and we're going to win some games because what people often forget is when you get in somebody's head, they play worse, and when you get in your team's head, they play better. And we can destroy people when they come into town. When Anthony Davis comes and every one of us is chanting, Eagle, Eagle, we're going to ruin the kid. And I want him to play horrible when he's here. When we get, DeAndre Jordan in town with the Clippers, and we're like, hey, what's up, Snake? We can come up with some nasty names. We can get him crazy. We can make him hate coming to Sacramento. I want people to come to Sacramento afraid to play on our court. I want them to know that the Sac Kings Nation is going to scream at them, that we're going to make them just want to cry and go home, take their ball and go home. We're going to beat you with our words.
So kind of like how they have the Goon Squad in Sleep Train Arena. In Golden One Arena, we want the Sac Kings Nation Squad. That's what we want. We want the SKN group. We want something, a sly little name for where our area is going to be, where our fans are going to be, where you guys are going to be, because we're going to be giving away these tickets, selling these tickets. But the only way this all happens is if you guys start following Sac Kings Nation on Twitter, at SKN Articles, Joe on Twitter as well, at Sac Kings J Morgan, myself at VM Center. Follow our writers as well that are putting up content as much as they can every single week. Drew Runberg is at Drew_Runberg. Josh Means is at Josh and then Means, but instead of an S at the end, throw out a Z.
I can tell you this right now. The amount of followers we get will directly result in the amount of tickets we're able to give away. We're trying to build this. We're trying to get big. We're trying to have people excited. But we just can't give it away if nobody's here. We have to have fans. We have to have followers. Every retweet, every like, every share on Facebook, every time you send something out or tell a friend that we're on the air, tell a friend that we have a website. Every time you do that, you're probably getting one or two more tickets thrown out to the public and upping your own odds of winning. So just let them know. Let your friends know. Let your family know. Let any Kings fan you see on the street know that what we're doing is we're trying to grow what the Republic have in the Tower Bridge Battalion. We're trying to grow that for the last year here at Sleep Train, but more importantly, we want it
for years to come.
Well, and by the time we get to Golden One Center, man, I want it to be what we're yelling. I want people to know the chants. I want people to know what we're doing. I want people to be afraid to come here. I'm excited. I mean, hey, again, the hair on the back of my neck stands up. I get crazy on this stuff because I want to scream as loud as I can. I want people to just be, I want LeBron to hate coming to Sacramento, getting on that plane, sweating because he knows he has to hear the Sac Kings Nation screaming at him the whole time he's here. So, I don't know.
All right, and to round out this show here, this is the final little tidbit I have is I love doing the Kings Court. I love doing these podcasts, and so to add on to the Kings Court, and this is not really necessarily the Kings Court, but it's going to be another podcast underneath the Sac Kings Nation helm, and that's going to be on Wednesday. It will be another live show, but it will not be the Kings Court. It will be Sac Kings Nation's Fantasy Hoops Hour. Now I'm going to be having a guy. His name is Matt. He works for RotoWire.com. So for all your fantasy hoop guys, and you guys are prepping, getting your mock drafts ready, wondering what rookies should be, put on the top of your list of who you should draft, Who are some good sleepers that are out there right now? Who are some guys that, because they got traded, they're no longer good? Who are some people that you should really stay away from in that first round, even though the name is very popular? Cough, cough, Kobe Bryant. I mean, there's certain teams, there's certain ways this thing can be played out, and we're going to be talking to Matt from RotoWire.com on Wednesday. The show will be live at 7:30 p.m. So 7:30 p.m. this Wednesday, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time, we will be starting the Stat Kings Nation's Fantasy Hoops Hour. Hey, check that out.
I have a quick question for you. Did you just agree with me that Kobe's no good? It just sounded like you agreed with me. I'm gonna have a drink real quick.
Fantasy basketball.
Fantasy basketball. The only place he's good is in fantasy land. I thought that'd be awesome for him.
No, fantasy basketball is different. You're talking to a two-league champion.
Yeah, but that's because, again, I haven't played with you yet. So, hey, I got one more thing to add that we forgot to talk about today. I'm just going to shoot it out there, have people go read the article. But we hired Roland Beach. We forgot to bring it up today. I am really excited that we're returning, not that we ever left it, but that we have now a mathematician, a guy running Abermetrics. I can never say it right, but you know what I'm saying, the cousin of Sabermetrics, the APBR metrics, Association of Professional Basketball Research Metrics, running that on for the Kings. Roland Beach. We fired, who was that guy? Dr. Dean Oliver. I can never think of his name right. Dean Oliver? Yeah. We fired Dean Oliver. We were tired, Vlade wanted his own house. So, hey, that's pretty much one of the last pieces. His house is built. So, Vlade's got his own math guy now. I don't even remember the title they gave him. They gave him some really cool title. Vice President of Math, or I don't, who knows, who cares, but
Vice President.
Hold on, I'll look. I'll try to remember. Vice President. Vice President of Analytics. That's what it was.
We're way over time here. Go ahead and go just check out this piece.
Yeah, go check out the article. But we love that we went back to math. We love that we're gonna have a great season. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a great week. And again, share us, download us, pass us out. Get us out to your friends. Vince, you got anything else before I cut us off being live here?
Definitely, man. This last few things I got to say, follow me on Twitter at VMCenter. Look for my stuff also on StatKingsNation.com. But I'm also a writer for RoyalPain.com. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff over there. Going to start producing a lot of stuff over there, so stay tuned for stuff like that. Check out all the articles on StatKingsNation.com. Leave you guys a comment in the bottom of the comment section below on all of our articles on StatKingsNation.com. I want to remind everyone to go to BrickHouseIndustries.com because the show is sponsored by BrickHouseIndustries.com. Use that promo code KingSport and get a discount on us. We got new styles out there every single day. Follow all of our writers, Joe at StatKings, J Morgan, Drew, once again, at Drew_Runberg, and Josh Means at Josh Means. But instead of an S, you throw in a Z. And until next time, Sacramento Kings fans, bye-bye.